Okay, there we go. Hello,
Yay.
Linda.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. So you're back amongst the living. That's good. That's
I'm
good.
back amongst the living, but I heard from Mel this morning he's got all the symptoms.
Ah,
And even if you take the COVID test, the influenza A and B, it'll show negative. It's just going around, I'm telling you. And Kaiser told me 3 weeks, and I thought they were out of their mind, but we're going on 3 weeks right now, and I'm just now at
boy.
the end of it.
Ah, oh man. That's the worst. It just keeps dragging on
Well, the
and
hard
on.
part is not being able to sleep and waking up gagging, it's just awful.
Ah, anyway, well, I'm glad you're on the mend. Sorry,
I'm
Mel's
on the
starting
mend.
in on it.
Yay. Yay. But
Yay.
I'm getting old and these kind of things probably could kill the very young or the very old. It's no mercy.
Yeah, yeah. So we do have some health care healthcare questions
Okay.
from the community. So since we're talking about health issues, let's just jump into that right away. So Annie Bear was asking, and thank you everybody for the questions. So Annie Bear was asking about healthcare with these big insurance companies buying up all a lot of hospitals and a lot of healthcare systems. Do you see that? I mean, it's just
Yeah,
wrong. It
it's been
feels
going
like
on. In fact, remember you couldn't make money off healthcare up until the 1970s. And
yeah,
then they said you can make a profit, and that's when it went cray cray. This will be all turned over, by the way, but it's several years away.
several years. Yeah,
Yeah.
it just feels like we're stuck in this hole, and and to me that's a trap that we get stuck in.
Yeah.
We don't look at the future. We don't see the changes that are coming, so we just stay. And we
It's
had
a
another
whole
guy.
new world. It's a whole new world coming in, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah,
And let
yeah,
me tell you something else. Somebody was talking on one of those shows that he was friends with the president years ago. He didn't name the president. But this president said if you could put term limits on Congress and the Senate, you would have a much better nation.
mm-hmm.
I think that's absolutely true. And I think that's
Oh,
coming up. I think
yeah,
I don't know if I'll be alive, but I see them being able to change term limits, especially with the
yeah.
Supreme Court.
Exactly, exactly. Because they're seeing how corrupt everything is, and yeah, I mean, if we don't get new blood in there, then we're just stagnant. We're not
Mitch
moving
McConnell,
forward.
Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham,
Ah,
right now, they're showing that he's making money off anything Ukraine got. He gets a kickback.
and how do these people sleep at night
They don't
when
care. They don't care.
it's just money for them, right?
Neither does Trump care.
No, no. But Lindsay, I thought, had some kind of conscience
He did back when he knew
back then.
McLean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So sad, so sad. So one of the things too that we got from Richie's Reach. So I put up a little thing, to ask questions, and it was an old Democratic vote sticker, and it said "Kick out depression, vote Democrat." And so Richie asked about this current depression. Isn't are we facing more depression by not opening up to spirit? And I think that is absolutely true. That we get
But we
sucked.
are opening up to spirit more so now than ever before.
Correct. And many of us are getting out of that depression era, feeling so low because we're shifting into moving into other things, which gets us, which made me think of, when we're focused on that Pumpkinhead all the time, it just drops us.
And
it just drops our energy.
It interrupts our energy because we're so busy wanting him to pay. And that's not really for us to do. You just hand it over and the realm will take care of it.
Okay, but I still want to do it. I still wake up and go, is he? No.
Damn.
And, you know, and I think about that and I go, well, that can't help my energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. So, yeah, I think in more of these, the YouTube community is reaching out and doing other things besides the political noise. So it is helping us raise our vibration. So one of the things that I got, one of the things that came into my awareness over the holidays, talking to my hillbilly brother out in Missouri, so he was saying that, because I tap him to get a read on what the central part of the country is doing. Missouri's a lot of MAGA.
Yeah.
So, a lot, everybody, almost. And so I tap him, I say, so what's going on in that energy? And he goes, well, you know, a lot of the information that's coming out from the DOJ, they're thinking it's going to be AI. So if there's any pictures that come out, it's AI, just to get to Trump. How much? The other question I had was, do you think Trump is uniting the country because everybody's against him? That his polls are so low. He's only 36% approval. So it does feel like he's uniting the country in one way, but the MAGA base is still so strong, it feels like.
Yeah, but it's not that many people.
Yeah?
It's not that many people. There's more of us that absolutely hate his guts, that want to see it fail, than there are MAGAs. And so many MAGA people are done with him. They closed down, what did they just recently? The Kentucky bourbon place. They've closed down.
Jim Beam. Yeah.
Yeah, they've closed down a whole bunch of things that was the bread and fodder for a lot of these states. And they're going to blame him.
Yeah. So what do you think because I feel like it's still the Epstein. I feel like it could be the bourbon that, you know, he lost the distillery. That, you know, for hillbillies, that'll do it, except they have their moonshine. So, you know, they'll get through it. But what do you think the big thing in 2026 will be that just says, oh, hell no, we've had enough?
First of all, the money economic system is definitely not going to be Armageddon like 2008, but that's happening right now as we speak. The other thing is his random bombing of certain countries without any permission. It's like, I even see the military saying enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that Nigeria thing, it's like he's trying to shift blame and pull the focus away, and he does that so well. And with Nigeria, I go, what the hell? And he goes, oh, we're defending Christians, and I'm like, by killing people?
Yeah.
You know, to me, you know, it's such a disconnect.
And look what Netanyahu's doing to the Christians. They're bombing our churches and stuff. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah. So, do you think 2026 we're going to see a stronger outcry from other world leaders?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, this whole thing with Nicaragua, there's other nations right now coming together.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in trouble with the other nations. You know, somebody said something and I totally believe it. Tell me what you think. They said they really thought he would be the puppet that could get Project 25 in, but they didn't realize how freaking stupid he is and how much he blew it up.
Yeah,
He's not going to be able to do nothing.
yeah. His that Project 2025, because he put vote in, I mean, then that guy is like making sure a lot of this goes through. But because he was so stupid with Doge and letting Doge run rampant, and now we're seeing how much that has cost the US. They just want to tear everything down, and so that we can rebuild it. But he's not going to be around to rebuild it.
Yeah.
And I keep whenever I throw cards on him, they're horrible. He's leaving. He's gone. I go, is he gone by this time? Yes, gone. And even I look back at that and I go, well, in the summer, what he did in the summer, even though I can't remember what he did, but that should have removed him from office. He does so many things that should have removed any other president from office. It's like, I don't understand the hold that he has over like Congress and the Senate. What is it? Just money?
He did before because they thought he was their king.
Yeah,
but it's dropping away. So many people are leaving. I just heard Marjorie Taylor's last day is January 5th.
Yeah, right. So do you think that MAGA Mike? One of the things too that here's a little thing that just pisses me off. So I grew up as a Catholic, and I go, well, I believe in the teachings of Jesus. I don't believe so much in the rules of the church. Stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, sit down, kneel. I hurt, my knees hurt. But anyway, but I believe in the teaching of Jesus and look after the poor, to be kind to everybody. But the evangelicals, the first time that this really tweaked me was when one of my evangelical relatives said that I was not a Christian. And I go, what? And they go, no, you believe in statues. I'm like, what? It just threw me for a big loop. So these evangelical MAGA Mike people that are in Congress, do you think that there's going to be enough Republicans leaving that it'll switch to a Democratic leadership in 2026?
I do.
In the House.
I do.
You do, yeah.
I feel that Mike Johnson doesn't even have a clue what's coming up in the next couple of months. He's going to be shamed.
Yeah. Well,
he's going to be shamed, and I see them all gathering together. I see them furious at Trump. How dare you start bombing people without even throwing it past us? I see the military talking to Congress saying, you guys got to do something about this cray-cray.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were talking about Mike not even knowing what's going to happen to him. So I got the Emperor card, and then I got full illumination. He's going to be like, oh my gosh, look, everyone's going to be going, look what is happening under your watch. Or let me rephrase that. Look what's not happening under your watch, because he's always on vacation.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's not really. He's just taking them off so they can't vote for something. Yeah, but he's not going to be able to do that 2026. And I see marches like the pitchfork marches, like Frankenstein, people marching with pitchforks. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So there, I know there's going to be more marches and protests going on. So, yeah, to me, it feels like, it's always going to be the economy that's going to flip some of this. But I also think that it's going to be health, a lot with healthcare, because so many people, they just can't get the right health. My wife still hasn't found a doctor out here. She can't get a doctor. I know.
Yeah.
So, I go, and my doctor, she goes, we're booked. We can't hire more people. So this whole healthcare system is so broken.
I know. It's terrible.
And yeah, I don't see it being fixed next year. I see it down the road. But and I hope that I hope that it goes to healthcare for all, like other.
I don't see people getting lazy either. I don't see the community and the public kind of resting on their laurels and just glad the Trump regime is out. I see them not putting up with anything from the Democrats. If they try to say, well, yeah, we'll just bring the ACA thing, and then they're going to say, no, we want more than that.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what I hear.
Yeah. And I think that one of the big wake ups for me in this last year was that we were sitting on our laurels too much. Yeah. And that we have to be out there, we have to be making noise, and I don't see that going away when the regime flips. I think we're still going to be extremely involved in our government and what says and what we want our government to represent, how we want our government to represent us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just like, yeah, whatever, in the past, and can't happen.
And you got your racists over there loving Trump because he was so mean to other nations.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I was watching some silly movie. I think it was Star Trek the other night, and I'm looking at all the ETs and aliens, different colors, different facial features, different. I'm like, oh, can we get that? Can we get that? Yeah. So speaking of aliens, Ms. Linda.
Yes.
So everybody's a lot of people were talking about the 3-eye atlas, that it was going to give new disclosure, and I have my thoughts on the disclosure thing. How do you see disclosure coming from the
I never really looked at the 3. I never thought it was just a comment.
Yeah.
But I've never felt anything from it.
Okay. But do you think that that our galactic friends are going to show up on Earth in some way?
They're already here.
Will there be like a full disclosure?
Not for a couple of years.
Okay.
But yeah, they're already here.
Yeah. I mean,
they can't believe how awful we are.
What do you mean we're awful? What do you mean?
We're awful. We're awful.
Oh, come on now. We're not that awful. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Never mind. So I too think that they are here. And I think that if our vibration is at this certain frequency, that they will show up, or we will show up so that we can see them. But speaking of awful, let's flip into a little bit of a positive thing. Can we go to? Do you want to talk about how much blue blood costs? Or okay, I'll do that. So I have 2 positive notes, and this is all on healthcare.
Okay.
What is the most expensive blood in the animal kingdom? Okay.
AB positive?
No. Horseshoe crab blood.
What's that?
So this is it's a blue blood. It costs $60,000 a gallon. I know. I'm like, what? What? And what it does is it responds to bacterial toxins by clotting. So it helps scientists determine the strength of vaccines.
Wow.
And so I'm like, dang, I wonder if RFK Jr. like drinks a glass of it. I mean, because he's kind of creepy. But anyway, science came up with a way that they don't need horseshoe crab blood to test this. They came up with another method, more synthetic. And I'm like, well, that's good, because I don't like seeing, species wiped out, even though I think that they were farming these horseshoe crabs for their blood. But so we are moving maybe into better science for that.
That's the first time I've ever heard of this.
Isn't that crazy? Well, I was reading Year in Review and stuff, and that popped up. $60,000 for a gallon of bright blue.
But that's a lot of blood. So they kill the animal to get the blood then, right?
Yeah, they said either that it was farmed or that they didn't kill the animal. I think 80% of the animals survived this bloodletting, but it sure looks like it's going back to leech day, when they put leeches on people to heal them. And
that didn't really do any good, though.
So let's look at the science. We're losing so much science. What was it called? NCAR in Boulder, the weather stations. The Trump is dismantling them because of political bias. So what do you think? So, our weather is just nuts in the Midwest.
And you know what? He doesn't want us to know what's coming up, because he wants us to get wiped out.
Well, California anyway.
Right.
Yeah. And it's interesting. My friend works for FEMA, and he goes, I haven't had to do anything. There's no natural disasters. Well, I go, we got a couple up here now, but do you see anything big coming in 2026 for
Well, I'm going to
US?
sit down and do my 2026 predictions, but I saw huge winter snowstorms coming towards New York and down to the Midwest. I saw that.
Wow.
Very cold. And it's just now snowing in New York.
Is it? Yeah. Someone was asking about Pismo something. Pismo Gizmo. Good name. She was asking about earthquakes, because we just had an earthquake up just north of us in Templeton, and you all had an earthquake just east of the Bay Area.
Yeah, where my daughter lives. Yeah. And they're 4-pointers. And when we had the big Loma Prieta quake, if I recall correctly, I was working at nights at Highland. Right before the big quake, we'd had all those small 4.3.
Yeah.
We were having, and then after the big quake, we really didn't have any.
Right. Yeah.
So there's definitely quakes coming.
Okay. So, and people keep asking me that, and I go, it doesn't matter where, you just need to be prepared. You need to have some hard-soled shoes by your bed, because
definitely. So when you get up, you can put them on.
We lived through the Northridge earthquake.
Oh, that was a bad one.
It was scary.
What kind of building were you living in?
It was a stucco wood frame. single
Those are the
story
best
house.
ones to be in.
Pardon me?
Those are the best ones to be
Yeah,
in.
yeah. We didn't have a chimney, so that was good because it didn't fall. All the chimneys fell over in our neighborhood. But I walked into the kitchen, and it looked like Picasso or who's the guy that does all the art that throws art paint everywhere. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it looked like there was an artist in our house squirting things all over the kitchen. And I go, what the hell? It was ketchup and mustard. Oh, I know. It was so weird. And but anyway, it's just be as prepared as you can. Have some extra water.
Yeah, keep your gas up on your car as best as you can.
Oh yeah, best you can. Yeah.
Don't let it go on empty and think, I'll go tomorrow, go tonight.
Yeah, right. Right. I've been doing that probably now for the last maybe 6 months. It's like even when it gets down to like a half a tank, I go no.
You get it filled up,
Yeah, get it filled up.
So what's your feeling about earthquakes?
I don't get a great hit on earth movements just because they can happen at any time. And it's always you've just got to be ready for it as best you can and be able to help your neighborhood the best you can. So I'm always in the mode that I always tap into is just being prepared and helping each other out the best we can.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to help anybody if you didn't prepare enough for yourself.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I see big, I'm sensing big things, shifts happening, big earth shifts happening.
That's what I've been sensing too.
Yeah. And I don't know where, so if I look at California, well, we live in California. So of course we're going to be shaken. I just don't want to be shaken down here because I live too close to the nuclear power plant.
Yeah, I don't see anything going up with that power plant.
Oh, thank you.
Not a thing.
I hope our little galactic friends aren't that pissed off at us that they will.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about Zelensky visiting Trump in Florida coming up? Everybody's telling him not to do it.
Yeah. It's boy, that guy is so amazing. He is such an amazing.
By the way, they got their power back on, their water, after being bombed like they were.
Yeah.
And they're hitting Moscow as we speak.
Yeah. Oh.
Good.
Yeah. It's, he is between such a rock and a hard place. So I think he's going to go in there and try to get something for his country, and he's going to be as diplomatic as he can be on it. But he's got Europe standing behind him.
Right next to him.
Right next to him. And so I think he's going to play that card a little bit. He's not going to be a pushover at all.
But I think if something happened to him or an attempted hit on him, I think the whole world would turn on Trump.
Are you getting a sense that something may?
I see someone trying to figure out how they can do it. I see Putin trying to think what he can do. But wow. I see eyes upon them. I see not being able to do this because they've got too many eyes upon them.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Zelensky and he's there today, right?
Yeah. No, he's coming Sunday.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing anything bad happening. When I threw the cards, I didn't see anything.
Thank you. I was going to look at that today with my peoples.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so
He stands with the realm. I'm telling you, there's angelic energy all around him.
yeah.
He is watched over, and physically, he really is taking a hit. He would love to step down,
Oh yeah.
but he can't because he's in the middle of this.
Yeah. Right. Right. You know, and he just what he needs is he just needs support. And that's what he's going for. And he's got a lot of, you know, the cards I threw was the King of Wands, and that's normally my European NATO allies showing up. And but he's looking to us to give him some weapons and some financial help.
Yeah, but he's talking to the moon right now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
He's just not talking to anybody with mental strength.
Yeah.
Don't worry. This is going to start changing tides coming, and they're hitting Moscow as we speak, big time.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah. I think that I got the Judgment card. I think it's gonna. You know, I just keep hoping. I get too wrapped up in some of the outcomes of this, especially you know, the wars in Ukraine, and now, you know, he was supposed to be the peace president, and now look what he's doing.
He's a fraud. He's a fake.
Always has been.
Yeah. Why were our people surprised?
Yeah.
And the states that are really hurting are the red states, thanks to his.
And you know, and they think that they're going to come out of this unscathed. You know, they think, oh well, no, he's not going to let us. But just watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
even Josh Hawley is going, hey, we need some health care down here. Josh Hawley. So, yeah, it's all right.
That's why they're all going to lose, my friend. They're all going to lose.
Yeah. When they start seeing, oh my gosh, you know, we can't afford. The thing that I think is going to hit pretty hard is when they say we can't afford to feed our land, our animals, so that we can't sell them anymore. So cattle feed's going to be a lot higher, and just the whole farming industry.
Right.
The
but
prices.
Don't forget my prediction. I think the Supreme Court will say no to the taxes.
To the tariffs.
I see them saying no. I don't know why. I saw a long time ago. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's really going to put them in a bad space.
Yeah. You know, and it's not that the you know, when the Supreme Court says no, you can't do these tariffs, the damage has already been done. And so it's not, you know, not another light switch that is going to be flipped. No. And it never is.
No.
Which takes us back to, we got to stand up all the time and say, we're not for this. And get out there and have a big voice.
There you go. There you go.
So looking into the midterms, my thought on a lot of the voting. Well, number one, I thought that Kamala won. I thought that Elon Musk had a big.
Oh yeah, they're saying more votes came in certain precincts than they have people that vote.
That they have, and in Tennessee it just came out again. Same thing, right? So she should have won. So how is that going to be changed? If
it's going to be changed because people will be marching. This year coming up is the March year.
Yeah.
This is the pitchforks. This is people saying no. Just like in Europe, you see some of these fantastic marches that are taking place.
Yeah.
And they're saying no, enough. And we will stand in line and vote. No, you can't tell us what we can and can't do.
But if they're switching the tabulation, is, do you see that them fixing that, or somehow manipulating? Because I know Elon Musk has big balls, but we got some. Can't believe that's his name, but we've got some pretty high tech people in the background too.
I'm not seeing, but I could be wrong. I'm not seeing Trump being able to switch things out like he thinks he's going to do.
Okay.
I see anger.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's still standing in office because I feel him just going down.
Yeah. Well, and every time I've read on him, I see him going, leaving, gone. So it feels like that we need to, just focus on how we're going to rebuild, how we're going to stand up and march, and not follow suit anymore. And it's just a new energy that we need to bring forward, and
Exactly.
that's what we need to focus on. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well, my friend, I guess maybe one more question.
Okay. Well, let's end with what do your guides have to say to those who are really struggling right now with we're just really struggling? What do your guides have to say to us for the new year?
Struggle is part of ego. Struggle is losing faith. So what they want everybody to know is that this too shall pass. This is all going away. And in the end, we'll see the reason why Trump was there, but we will make sure this never happens again.
Yeah.
But losing faith is being in the ego, But, people can't get health care. People are struggling. Hell yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
But know that this is what's causing the uproar. This is what's causing the pitchforks. People will march and say enough.
Right. So, what I take away from what you just said, from what your guide said, is that, it can't all be positive and it can't all be negative.
Right.
So there's a blend of, we get good with the bad, and
but remember, our light is brighter than the darkness.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
not that much darkness is clinging on to him. It's just this little posse of nothing.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Linda, my friend, thank you so much.
Thank you, honey. I know it seemed short, but it was 45 minutes.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank
Peace
you,
and love.
guys. Cheers.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.